If you are a new coach wanting to make some more sales or just some sales period, you are going to love the video that I have for you today, because today we're going to be talking about 3 of the most common mistakes that new coaches make to avoid, because they will kill your sales. You might be making them right now and not even know it. So we are going to get right into it. So mistake number 1, and I see this with pretty much every single new coach, and I myself went through it when I was starting out, is shying away from talking about the money. Now, maybe you are thinking, you know what, I don't know if someone wants to pay this. I don't know if I'm worth it. And really having a lot of those money thoughts go through your head. And, I've got a separate video for you that I'm going to link to really help you reframe the way that you're thinking about your pricing and feel good and confident about it. So I'm going to link that for you. What I want to talk through in this video is really, once you feel that confidence, owning that and talking about it and realizing, look, it's just an exchange of value. You're not tricking or forcing anyone into buying from you. Let's be clear on that. People are smart. They can make their own decisions. So that's not what's going on. What you need to do is really see it as, okay, I deserve to be paid because, yeah, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be helping this person, giving them some amazing value. And so it's a fair exchange. What that means is when it comes time to discuss the price, don't lower it. Don't, unless, there's a reason beforehand that you've decided on, that you want to maybe offer someone a special offer because they're your first client, or you're doing a special promotion, something that you've decided beforehand. But don't offer a discount out of fear. Don't kind of say, okay, here's my price, and then, but we can talk about it. Really own your price. And if someone says, you know what, I don't know if this is worth it, I don't know about this, don't shy away from saying, okay, you know what, I get it. You don't have to buy from me. What you want to do is, now let me be clear before I go into what I'm about to say. If someone says, I'm going to have to choose between making this investment and paying my bills, that's a clear, okay, got it. This is not the right investment for you right now. You need to pay your bills first, get that taken care of. But aside from that, if someone's just saying, I don't know if I really feel like this is worth it, that's when you say, okay, you know what, I'm happy to talk about the money piece. I'm happy to talk about what's going on, your perception of the value, how to really see what we're accomplishing, how to feel that this is a good investment for you. Now, you're not trying to persuade anybody, right? You're just you are just listening out. Okay, here, let me just make sure you're taking everything into account. My price is my price, right? I fully own it. I'm going to provide incredible value. If you don't want it, totally fine. But let's just make sure that you understand what you're totally getting, and understand that part of the value of what you're paying for is all the experience, all the time, effort I put into gaining whatever it is that I can help you with, and the results that you're going to get, not just, the time I'm going to put in right now through our coaching. So that's mistake number 1, really seeing that as just another component in exchange of value, and really not shying away from having that conversation, because you're not running a hobby. You're not running a charity. You can do that in a different part of your life. This is your business, and you deserve to get paid and paid well for it. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is just really not having a takeaway in general related to sales. So there are 2 parts to this. The first is not making an offer, right? Maybe just kind of wimping out and saying, hey, if you're interested, you can click here to book a call with me, maybe, and I'll give you some free coaching too, right? I see that a lot with new coaches, and I get it. It's because, again, you don't want to feel salesy or pushy, but really coming from that place of owning, hey, if you want to learn more about how I can help you get this result and potentially work together, click here to schedule a sales call with me so we can talk about it. Really being upfront about that. Again, your potential clients are smart. They're adults. They're making their own decisions. You're not tricking or forcing them into anything. So you want to really be upfront about, okay, here's the takeaway. I provide really great value, and if you want more, here's how you're going to get it. Really owning your free value and your paid value hand in hand, and really providing strong takeaways for both. Now, the second part of that is the takeaway related to the sale, right? So when you have a sales call, And someone says, you know what, I need to go and think about it. Or, you know what, this sounds good, thanks. And then you say, okay, great, thanks, bye, great talking to you. You don't want to be ending on kind of like a cliffhanger, because frankly, that doesn't feel good to anyone. And again, it's not about you persuading anyone or being pushy. It's simply about you saying, hey, let's have a next step so that neither of us is left in kind of limbo, right? Be fair to me and be fair to yourself as well. And so what you might say is, okay, great. So does this feel like the right next step for you for us to work together? And someone might say, yes. Okay, great. Then you take the payment and you start working together. They might say no. Okay, great. Then thanks so much for chatting with me and for having this great call. Done. Now, if they're like, I need to go think about it, I need to go look at my finances, I need to go talk to my partner, that's when you say, okay, great, let's just talk through the next steps. When are you going to go look at your finances? And when are we going to regroup to really talk through if this is the right next step for you or not? When are you going to talk to your partner? And when are we going to regroup? So that it's not as if you're pushing for anything. It's just so that you can say, okay, what's the next step, so that you know what you're going to go off and do. I know what the time frame is, and then we have that time frame, we have that next step, and then if I don't hear from you by then, or we have that call and you are not wanting to work together, then I know, and we can both move on. That's what I mean. So having a clear takeaway for every part of the sale, and invite to chat with you and reach out to you, making that very clear. Yes, I do have great free stuff. I also have great paid stuff to offer, right? And then also leading into, okay, so if you are ready, or if you need some more time, we've got a next step together that we are going to have be that timeline where we're either going to move forward or we're not, but either way, we've got that decision. So a huge reason why I see people kind of shying away from that is, again, they don't want to feel salesy or pushy. But when you reframe it in this way, it's really so that you can make a decision, they can get the help they need or not, and you guys can both move on with your lives. That's really what it's about. So that's mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, the final mistake, is assuming anything about the potential client that you might be connecting with. And there are a few common assumptions, right? You might assume that someone is going to be a perfect fit based on maybe their income level, their experience, something they said. Of course, your intuition is probably going to be right a lot of the time, but quite often, your assumption might be off. You don't know what's going on inside someone's head. Assuming anything about their financial status, right? Whether or not they can afford you based on what you see. You never know. I'm going to give you some examples in a second, but I want to first just list out the common assumption mistakes that I see, right? And then assuming someone is interested or not interested because you haven't had that clear follow-up and takeaway, right? And so what it comes down to is you never know. I will tell you, at the beginning of my business, this business actually, so not even my first coaching business, but this was a lesson I had to learn. I spoke to a woman who wanted to build an online business, but she already had, and she already had a few franchises. So she told me they brought in multiple six figures in revenue a year. And so I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be a no-brainer for her. She has business experience. We're just going to translate it into building an online business. I could definitely help her with that. This is going to be such a great investment for her. It's going to be easy. She's going to we're going to work together and do great stuff. She said to me, okay, you know what? I need to go check my finances. And, we had a clear takeaway. Hey, we're going to check in tomorrow, and we're either going to move forward or not. And, she was like, yeah, I just need to go check it, figure out which credit card to give you, and we're good. Then she wrote back to me though, and she said, you know what? I just realized that this is not the right investment for me at this right time. We've got some big expenses coming up, and I just don't know if I can make this work. And, I was really surprised because the investment, especially compared to what she was making, and really the investment overall at the time, was just it seemed to me like a no-brainer. But I assumed, which you should never do. Versus just a short time after that incident, I spoke to another potential client. And this was a woman who had left her job about a year ago, been trying to build her online business without success. And she also was a single mom. So she was the sole breadwinner for her 2 kids. And she told me, she said, you know, I've been trying this on my own for a year with no results. I've got about, I believe she said maybe 2 or 3 months of expenses left in the bank. And after that, I have to go back to a job. And I know that if I do, I'm not going to try this again. It's just not going to happen. And I felt really uncomfortable taking her money because she had such a short runway for her expenses. And so I told her that. And I said, you know, I'm not sure we should work together. And on the call, she actually, so again, I started assuming. On the call, she started crying. She said, you know what? I know it seems risky, but I believe in this and I know I have to give this my all or I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. Please, you know, I really want to work with you and get your help. And so, I mean, I was like, okay, wow, you know what, let's do this. And, you know, within about a month and a half, she had made back more than her investment in the entire program. And so I share those 2 examples because, I mean, those 2 really kind of showed me, oh, wow, you really can't ever assume anything about anyone. And I want to pass that on to you because that's the truth, right? You never know what's going on with someone and at that specific time. It's your job to show up, to share great content, to build trust in you, to show someone how you can help them. If they don't understand your value, sure, you need to explain it. But it's not about persuading or doing anything like that. And it's not about assuming any responsibility for that person's adult decisions. You don't know how much money they have in the bank. You don't know their risk tolerance. You don't know their self-confidence. You don't know their ability or willingness to be coached and to take action and get the results that they want. And by the way, this applies no matter what industry you're in. I use myself as an example, but I've seen this across so many different industries, from career to relationship to health coaching, all the way to life coaching, confidence coaching, energy healing. So the whole spectrum, right? The truth applies because no matter what industry you're in, your clients are human beings. And so those are 3 of the top mistakes that I see new coaches make that really kill their sales or really negatively affect them. And so now that you know them, let's get you avoiding them so that you can make more sales and feel good about making them. And so hopefully you have found those really helpful. If you have, I've got another really great video for you on my simple, really powerful sales call, discovery call, whatever you want to call it, script. And so you are really going to love that video if you enjoy this one. So I'm going to link that for you either somewhere on this screen and or in the description below. I also have a great PDF for you on my 15-second script to use to get your first or next paying client. I'm again going to link that somewhere on this screen and or in the description below. And if you want it, you can go to the page and sign up and get it. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit subscribe to be notified every week when I release a brand new video on building your own online coaching business. And if you loved this video, you got a really great takeaway, which I really hope you have. I would love to hear which one really was the biggest aha for you in the comments below. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next time.